Hey everybody, Cajun Reviews for You coming straight at you again today. And today I want to talk to y'all about my ratcheting screwdrivers. So, let's get into it. This right here is the Klein 32500 HDRT ratcheting screwdriver. So, this one has multi-tips in it. See, like this is the Phillips one. And this is a nut driver right here too. You pull this out. There's a regular flat blade right here on this side. This is a 3/8 nut driver here. These fit together like so. And you can pull it out of this part. And you got a smaller Phillips right here. And a Torx here. Another nut driver size here. And you got square head and two square heads on this side of the shaft right here, and a 5/16 nut driver right here. So all of this stuff fits inside of the Klein handle right here. You got all of these tips pretty much within one tool, and they fit back together just like that. The ratcheting part, see right now, it's locked in both positions, so it just works like a regular screwdriver, locked in both positions. Right here, if you operate this collar, it's now ratcheting. So if you're loosening something, now it ratchets back just like that. Just like that. You turn it the other way, and it goes back to this direction. It does work pretty good. The tool seems to be solid. Not nervous or anything when I'm putting this on a screw that the ratcheting portion of it is gonna break. I feel like it's solid, it's well made, the handle is easy to grip. Feel like, I got a pretty good grip on this. It's not gonna slip or anything. I do have one just like this that I was using as my primary screwdriver, for just about everything. I did wear out these tips on the end. I do note, though, this is a replacement driver that I bought. They didn't give me a warranty one or anything like that. Anyway, this tip right here, I believe, is different in this one compared to the old one that I have. I think it's the same model, but they changed this. I don't think that Phillips tip is made like this. Like there's another tip on the other side of this. I don't know. That's got something to do with the hardening process within the steel, maybe. That helps those tips to survive longer, to last longer. Other than that, I like this tool. This is in here pretty good, I think. See, I can do this with that. That tool's locked in there pretty well. There's not a ball. No, there's no ball. There's no ball detent holding this in place. It's held in place by a magnet. So right there, it's pretty solid. So I like this tool. I tend to carry this in my front right pocket, so I always have a screwdriver on me. I don't use this tool as my first go-to. My first go-to tool is going to be in one of my tough built pouches, and it's just normally going to be carried on my waist. This is in my pocket when I get way over there on the other side of a building somewhere when I'm working on something and I need a screwdriver. I got a screwdriver on me. I even have a driver with a couple nut drivers built into it. So that's why I have this. Like I said, it just fits well. It looks nice. It is a nice tool. It's easy to grab. Well-made tool, in my opinion. So this right here is the Milwaukee, and it's 4822-200-2903, I think, is the part number. It's written right here, but it's kind of hard to see. It is stamped right there on the handle. So this one is also ratcheting. This bit is magnetically held in there. It's pretty sturdy too, I would say. Pretty much. So I can do that and it doesn't fall apart. So this one is, so we lock this one in place and it works just like a regular screwdriver. To put this one in ratcheting mode, you turn this collar similar to the Klein. You turn it like that, and now it's in ratcheting mode. Just like so. And you turn it the other way, and it ratchets the opposite direction. So I do like this tool, and I have used it a little bit. this comes out like this, and I think in here, in this part of the handle, it has multiple tips in here. We've got square tips. We have ECX in here, which the Klein does not have the ECX bit in it. That's a strike against Klein, in my opinion. The ECX bit works on a lot of electrical fittings and electrical screws. It's got some Torx bits in here, flatheads, square tips, another Phillips, etc. And you just, all you do to get the tip out of here is just, you know, pick it up like that, and you pull it out, and then you take this tip that you took out, take out of the end of the thing right here, and you put it back in the driver in the place of the tip you just removed, and then you put this one in the end of here, like so. Like that. So now you got a regular flathead screwdriver, and it does work like that. One advantage I failed to mention on the Klein and on the Milwaukee is you can remove this shaft like so and put this in an impact drill. So if you're somewhere where you need to use an impact drill on something, you could take this the shaft out of this tool, put this into an impact drill, and use it that way. The Klein does do the same thing right here. This will fit into an impact drill. The advantage to the Klein, though, is you have these nut drivers built into them right here. So you, theoretically, now you have, put this on the end of an impact drill, you have a 3/8 nut driver. And it's a 3/8 deep nut driver too, because the bottom of the shaft is, the bottom of the bit is way back here. So that's a deep nut driver. It's not one of those little magnetic nut setters. I really don't care for those. But anyway, this is, theoretically, that's a deep nut driver right there. So you could put that on a stud with a nut, you know, up to about that long, say about that long, and still be able to turn that. So that's one big advantage to this. I do prefer how these tips are stored in this handle, though. I feel like it's more secure inside of this handle than what it is stored in the side of here, just because it's only magnetically held. This is inside of the handle. In order for these to fall out, you have to extend this part of the handle. This fits in my hand fairly well. See on the Klein, I can wrap my hand around about that much. So this one has a smaller diameter than the Milwaukee, like so. This one I can wrap my hand around, but I just feel like in certain situations, this one will be easier to deal with to turn a tightened fastener. The only thing I can say that would be negative about this is if you tighten a screw over here and there's a wall or something right here where this collar would get in the way. But I mean, the same thing can happen on this, and this Milwaukee is a little bit longer than the Klein, like this. I mean, the same thing could happen on the Klein, but the Klein is a little bit more sleek and a little bit more aerodynamic, I guess, than the Milwaukee. This thing is kind of a brute, in my opinion, but it does work. I do use it. It works pretty well, I'd say. I don't carry this thing with me all the time. This is in my tool bag. I need it, I go get it. This one, like I said before, stays in my pocket. Now, let's talk about this dude. So as you remember, on these, in order to change the ratcheting, I gotta operate this collar. So now I need two hands to operate this. You know, that's a, you know, a disadvantage in my opinion, because I gotta use two hands to operate this. So if I'm holding a screw in a hole or something and I need to reverse the ratcheting, I guess I could do this on a good day and turn this collar on a good day, you know, when the wind's blowing in the right direction. My arthritis is not acting up too bad. But anyway, you could do it like this, I guess, and the same thing would work on the Milwaukee. You know, it is possible. But on this thing, this is the Annex 397D ratcheting screwdriver. So this right here, this is just a Milwaukee Phillips number 2 bit that's stuck in here. It is magnetically held in there, but this is a ratcheting ball screwdriver. So to reverse it, it's a lot easier. Just move that switch right there. So I'm holding a screw in a hole right here, and I need to reverse this. It's easier for me to operate this because of the position of the switch. You see, it is ratcheting, just like that. And this, you move it and it goes the opposite direction. It's also easier to tell what position is the ratchet in. So when the switch is on the right, you're doing the loosen function. When the switch is on the left, you're doing the tighten function. So this is an easier indicator, I feel, than this, because this is marked on this collar right here. There's a little arrow right there that says the position it's in, but it doesn't really highlight the position of the ratchet like this Annex one is. I carry this with me all the time. Sometimes I'll put this thing in my pocket too, because I can grab a hold of this ball thing pretty well. This is some non-slip rubberized something on this handle. The ratchet seems to be secure. You know, if I got something that's really tight, I'm gonna go get my impact drill and the right bit to turn that fastener. But I mean, for everyday use and for working on electronics, I'm a commercial fire alarm technician, so I work on fire alarm panels pretty much every day. And this has been great. If you lock the switch in the center position, it's locked in both directions now. The disadvantage to this, I guess, is only this bit in here. You may have seen my video on this when I originally bought this, that I broke the flat tip that came with this. I just barely touched that fastener and it just snapped right in half. I did replace that with some Harfington brand tips, but they're not quite as long. They're probably about this long as far as what sticks out of the end of the driver, and I prefer a little bit longer shaft. And that's when I bought this Milwaukee bit from Home Depot. This one's pretty much the perfect length for me. I could probably settle if it was about that much longer. So say another 1.5 inches to 2 inches longer, I would prefer that even better. The other thing about this, if you pull this out, if you need to use this bit in an impact drill and you put this down, it tends to want to roll. So you see that it just tends to roll. If it's on an incline, it can roll away. If it's not on a steep incline, because of the little indentions in the handle right here, where I guess your fingers are supposed to fit there, you set it down right there and it doesn't move. The bit is magnetically held into the handle, but it does fit securely. This bit does not come out of there easily. You know, it's not coming out of there like that. I mean, pull it out like that, but it's not gonna fall out. So I like this tool. This thing is solid. I feel like it's solid and it has served me well. It's only like $15 on Amazon. It says Annex, ANEX number 397 ratcheting ball screwdriver. The tip that came with it, it's gone. I threw that thing away because I broke it the first couple days. I didn't even put that much pressure on it, but I guess that fastener was more corroded and rusted than I thought it was. But this tool is great. I like all of these tools. I'm kind of a fanatic with collecting tools, and I got too many tools. But anyway, I do like these tools for each of their individual uses. They all serve a purpose for me. But this is the one I reach for the most. Like I said, the only thing is I don't have a longer flat blade tip to fit in here, and this is the one I go for the most. And this one stays in my pocket, and then this one primarily stays in my bag. But I do like The size of this handle is a little bit bigger. The length of this shaft and where these tips are stored. I do like that. Nothing against the Klein one for the way those bits are stored. I've never lost any. I'm just saying that, you know, having it in this handle I think is better. And, you know, this gives me some meat to grab a hold of this thing if I really got to put some muscle behind turning something. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to y'all today about these ratcheting screwdrivers. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, follow, and share across all my platforms. I greatly appreciate that. That really helps me out. And y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Bye.